Both sides agree President Biden's uneven delivery last night could be a problem. How deeply it affects the race for the White House going forward is up for debate.
To my friends across the aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer.
President Joe Biden delivered the State of the Union in March with a sense of confident energy. 3 months later, many Democrats hoped that performance would carry over to last night's debate.
I expected President Biden to be animated, to be more like he was in the State of the Union.
But following an uneven showing in Atlanta with a handful of stumbles and shaky responses, local Democratic Party Chair Wayne Rogers says Biden fell short of those expectations.
Honestly, I believe he was probably a little over-prepared, had too many different facts being thrown at him from too many different directions.
In the 12 hours following the debate, Rogers received 1,000 texts from Democrats across the country.
Honestly, the folks that I'm talking to, it's running probably about 50-50 as to whether he should continue as the nominee or not.
But Rogers was quick to point out that many of former President Donald Trump's answers were misleading, if not outright false. Fact checkers counted almost 36 examples during the 90-minute debate. Does that bother you at all?
Look, they're having to make these accusations about the fact check because President Biden's performance was so poor.
Former Republican lawmaker Paul DeMarco feels former President Trump's calm responses to Biden's attacks offered a contrast to the incumbent's incoherent moments.
Not only the voters were watching this, but the world was watching his performance last night, and that's a concern we should all have as Americans.
So will the president drop out of the race as the Democratic incumbent LBJ did in 1968? Rogers says only Biden can make that call.
That's a decision he has to make on his own. He could decide, as Lyndon Baines Johnson did, to step aside and let someone else run.
If so, he only has about 6 weeks to decide. And that's when the Democratic National Convention is set to kick off in Chicago. Rogers says possible replacements on the ticket would be Vice President Kamala Harris, California Governor Gavin Newsom, or Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Guy.